Okay, go.
All right. Sammuka. Sammuka is confrontational, either due to a similarity of nature or being completely opposite. Example, Scorpio and Aries are very similar in nature, so they have Sammuka. Taurus and Libra are very similar in nature, so they have Sammuka. Cancer and Aquarius are completely opposite in nature, as are Leo and Capricorn, but they still have Sammuka. It's confrontational. It's something you identify with, or something you're trying to overcome. He's given a nice example. Aries and Scorpio is the male competition, competing with each other, men, colleagues. Taurus and Libra can indicate the same, also it indicates women competition. Simple, eh?
Who's the best makeup?
Okay. It's noteworthy that in the case of Leo and Cancer, they're basically battling Saturn. And they're battling Saturn to see who is going to be the king of the country, Leo. And Cancer's battling to see who will be the king of the home and the mind. That's what Cancer is doing. He's fighting Rahu in Aquarius to say, I am going to dominate the mind. Either Rahu will win or Cancer will win. Okay. In case of the dual signs, a good depiction is if we had Virgo and Pisces. Here is Virgo. He makes all his notes on time. Makes everything right. He's studied all the books. He's done all his homework. And then comes this fellow with long hair and a beard and tells him, you know, it's all in the zero, shunya. And Virgo just falls flat. He doesn't know how to understand that. Because the books don't say anything about it. The books didn't describe it. The books didn't say anything about how to, reach there and how to walk there. There was no map, There was no homework he could have done for that. So of course, when somebody says, it's all in the zero, what's Virgo going to do? He goes and gets debilitated in Pisces. So for them, that Sammuka is the great debate of the scholar and student trying to understand the rishis. That's why it's Badaka.
Oh, you just didn't move it.
Oh. Okay. Hey, no, that's why it's typical.
I'm gonna.
Now we got to Parshva. Because we're discussing Sammuka. In connection with Sammuka, we must have Parshva. Keep in mind, the Sammuka can be Badaka, and it may not be Badaka. The Parshva can be Badaka, and may not be Badaka. Why? Because of the dual signs. For the other signs, Sammuka is never Badaka. For the dual signs, Sammuka is Badaka. For the other signs, the Parshva will be a Badaka. Okay? Whereas for the dual signs, Parshva will never be Badaka. So you always have these two issues. Now, the word Parshva means a side, implying nearness or proximity, and generally referring to boundaries on both sides. That means boundaries of vision. Like it's the most extreme to which you can look to your sides. That's Parshva. It also refers to a side of any square figure, which in this case is the South Indian chart. Right? Do you understand that? Which is most suitable for understanding Rashi Drishti, like a fixed East Indian chart. Like the fixed East Indian chart. Have you tried to do Rashi Drishti in the Indian chart? In the East Indian chart? Okay, we'll do that one day. Soon. Each sign is shown as a box, and the side of the box, which is inward, is called its mukha or face. The outer wall is the boundary of the universe, while the inner wall is the edge of the solar system. The Rasi and Nakshatra exist between these walls. Can you understand that? Let's try again. The outer wall of the box is the boundary of the universe. So we have the South Indian chart. The outer box is the boundary of the universe. Beyond that, there's the other lokas. You know, Mahajana, Tapas, Vacham, it's over there. And within that box is the three lokas, Bhurbhuva Swa. Okay? And then, within that first frame of the box are the grahas. And then you're in the middle, and that's middle box. Do you see that? So you actually can have Bhur, Bhuva and Swa all in that box. Although the planets are shown inside the signs, that is between the inner and outer walls, in reality they are in the inner box. This is only schematic representation. That means if I'm showing you the South Indian chart, although we put the grahas here in the signs, they're far from the signs. They're more like in here, in truth. Okay. That's all it means. Astronomy lesson 101.
And we'd be dead center in that.
Yeah, we're dead center. Exactly. Yeah. The commentary states that the Parashva Rashi, the extremities of vision, are the 5th and 11th for movable signs, 3rd and 9th for fixed signs, and 4th and 10th for dual signs. These aspects can be known from the Sammukha Rashi, which for movable signs is the 8th, fixed signs the 6th, and the dual 7th. What was I describing? I said take the Sammukha, take 4th and 10th, right? That's it. That's the answer. You don't have to think so much. How do we know the extremities of vision from the Sammukha Rashi? Natural vision is always to the opposite sign, and the extremities of vision are defined as being 90 degrees on either side. 4th and 10th from Sammukha. Again, this is hidden in the word Abhi, used by Maharishi Jaimini in the very same sutra, where Abhi means 4. And this we discussed. The steps involved are to first identify the Sammukha Rashi, which say for Aries is Scorpio. Then we have to count 4 signs from Scorpio on either side. We get this, don't we?
Yeah, that's what you showed in the beginning.
Yeah. So we'll move on. Now comes some sutra, something hidden. The same sutra uses the word cha. Remember? Abhipasyanti Parshvabe cha. Okay? Which means also. It also means and. It implies a hidden meaning to the order of aspects. Okay? The first aspect is to the Abhimukha sign. Now, remember, the Abhimukha may not be Sammukha, and Jaimini has said Abhipasyanti. You keep that in mind. He doesn't make a mistake. Though I've described the whole concept of Sammukha and 4th and 10th from Sammukha. For dual signs, the Abhimukha is not Sammukha, remember? So when he says that there's an order to the aspects, he says that the Abhimukha is primary because it's the first one he mentioned. Okay? Abhi is primary, then come the others. Not Sammukha is primary. Jaimini said that. He said Abhipasyanti. So, when we say that the Abhimukha sign is the strongest, that implies that for dual signs, let's say Gemini, the Abhimukha is Virgo, and Virgo is the strongest for Gemini. But it doesn't change our relationship between Scorpio and Aries. They have the strongest Abhimukha. And they have what we call 100% drishti. You should note that down. Abhimukha is 100% drishti. We're now going to grade the drishtis. Give them point systems. Points, rather. Now we have definitely classified that we have Abhimukha drishti, right? Now we have 2 of those parshvas. 2 parshvas. And one of them is Badaka. So we have one Abhimukhi, which is the extreme knowledge, clarity. And then we have Badaka, which means extreme ignorance. The Badaka drishti will get 25%. So you can write Badaka sign 25. That's the 25% knowledge. You lack the other 75.
So how can it be full ignorance if you still get 25%?
Yes, you can get some knowledge. We can increase it with grahas. It's not complete ignorance. You know you have a mouth, right?
Indeed, yes.
You just can't see it. The remaining sign gets 50% knowledge. 50% drishti. Even that 25 in the Badak sign, you barely get like a few 5%, to be honest. Most of the time. The worse the Badak gets, the worse the degradation of the knowledge becomes. So when he says the word chant, he's talking about order of aspects, order of significance of their strength. Alright? How to increase this? Well, if you have a benefic or a sattvic graha associated with Badaka, it removes the ignorance. Just one. Aspecting is enough. Rashi Drishti on the sign is enough. Rashi Drishti on the sign, the Badak sign. Yes. On the Badak sign. Has to be on the Badak sign. Okay?
On the Badak sign.
I'm saying I don't have that.
Okay. Alright?
Sattvic or benefic?
Both.
Or either
Oh.
sattvic or benefic?
Both are good. Sattvic is better.
What if Badakish itself is inspecting you?
If Badakesh is a benefic aspecting its own Badak sign, fantastic. No Badaka. Badaka is removed. It's not Badaka anymore. It's like Abadaka. Everybody else gets Badak, you walk free.
Can you give an example?
Yes, normally Badak gives you an opportunity to go abroad. And it can give you Raja Yoga abroad. So benefics associated with Badaka actually take you out of Badak. Like somebody complaining that their country is not suitable for living. Alright? It takes you out of the place. Badaka can do that. It's very powerful. Badaka can be a big blessing. For example, let's say you have Gemini Lagna, Jupiter and 7th in Sagittarius. Mithuna Lagna, Jupiter and 7th in Sagittarius. How can you say that's Badaka? Hamsa Mahapurush Yoga.
Yeah.
In fact, it will function when you go abroad because it's Badaka. It opens all doors. So a benefic or a sattvic planet can remove Badaka. And benefics lording the Badak sign will want to remove Badaka. They will want to. Question is if they can. You know, maybe they're afflicted. You know, maybe they're in a bad house, debilitated, this, that. Then you need other grahas to come and remove the Badaka. Okay? Each of the grahas will do it in a different way. You want a good graha like Sun or Moon or Jupiter. These will guaranteed remove Badak. Guaranteed they will. They'll just remove it. But note my words, they have to aspect the Badak sign, not the Badakesh, not the Lord of Badak. They have to aspect the Badak sign. And if you have just one of those benefics or one of those sattvic grahas, which means what? Benefics or the sun, right? If you just have one of those aspecting the Badak sign, you just wear its gemstone, Badak is gone. Just wear, gone Badak, say bye bye Badak, it'll go. Just go.
The stone of the planet.
Stone of the planet removing Badak. You remove it immediately. For example, Sandeep has in his chart
Where's Mama?
Simha Lagna, Leo Lagna, Sandeep. So that means his Badak sign is Aries.
Mars.
Do you have just one benefic or the sun aspecting by Rashi Drishti Aries?
I do, Jupiter.
Oh.
Yeah. Involved in that Parivartan. It's in the fourth
And
house.
which Parivartan is that?
Jupiter's in the fourth house in Scorpio, in a Parivartan with the fifth. Ketu's in the fifth assaulted.
So Jupiter Ketu Yoga will remove that Badak. So if you wear a yellow sapphire, Badak
That is the same cast. My cast is the same.
Same case?
Mm.
You've
Jupiter.
started wearing a yellow sapphire.
Yes. Jupiter in 4.
Jupiter in fourth.
Aquarius.
Your Aquarius
Libra.
Lagna, Jupiter in fourth, aspect in ninth house, which is the Badak sign. Badak gone. That's remedy, isn't it?
Mm.
One good remedy. Finished, done.
I have nothing to put
You have nothing. Aspecting Badak sign. Oh,
Well,
we have to figure out some other way,
The
right?
aspect is
You have to-
Graha.
But
What we do with Ketu? Graha Drishti will not work. Nothing, no Graha Drishti will work. In fact, if you have any Graha which is Rahu, Ketu, Saturn or Mars aspecting Bataka, they will just add ignorance to the case. So you don't want them to have Rashi Drishti or Graha Drishti for that matter. But look for Rashi Drishti. If no Drishti, then don't look at that. Look at other ways to remove Badak. Okay. Look at other ways. This really works. You know? People ask me, Visti, why do you keep on putting Garuda, Shri Garuda, this website about Garuda, this, that, everything, you like the sun so much. Well, you can say so much about my chart, but I have one Rahu in 9,000 Badak sign, but one sun aspecting him over there. Without that one sun, I can't see what's going on there. So increase the sun. Okay? Huh?
Said some of us are not that lucky.
There.
Some are not that lucky.
Your turn.
Some are not that lucky. You have to find other ways. Maybe the Lord of your Badak sign is a benefic.
Nothing.
He wants to remove Badak. He does. He really does.
Only the Lord benefic.
Nothing.
If the Lord of Badaka is benefic,
Then he wants to remove Badak.
Jupiter, sunshine.
He wants to. But can he? You have to weigh that. You have to be careful. You have to be careful.
Moon.
And you might find other ways to remove it. There are ways. You cannot use straight ways. You cannot just give a gemstone.
Sun. Yeah.
Basically what's happening, that benefic or sattvic graha, especially sattvic grahas, benefics, they'll, Venus and Mercury, they will have some restriction as to what knowledge they want to give you. They'll have a small, Venus filter and Mercury filter. You'll only see the money, you'll only see the opportunities relationship-wise. Not so clean. The others, they will give complete knowledge.
Moon,
Like a doctor coming and show you, this is the problem.
Moon doesn't matter if it is benefic or malefic, it is sattvic.
It doesn't matter. Moon will definitely bless. Definitely. Mark my words. Such a blessing. If you have many benefics or sattvic planets associated with your Badak sign, what Badak is there? There's no Badak. Gone. Badak gone.
In this
Still
case,
means-
sorry.
That still means that you cannot control or have a knowledge of the Badak sign, but that if you have those benefits, that means that you will not experience something bad from it.
You at least see the problem before it starts.
You will
In
see
your
it,
case,
you will have a knowledge of that.
Yes.
In your case, both Shukra and Chandra are having Rashi Drishti on.
Shukra and Chandra and
Yeah,
Guru
Chandra
and
is-
Surya. I mean, who's not?
Mm.
You have many aspects
Okay,
to your Badak
malefics
sign.
as well, but Chandra
No.
is free from the.
No, Chandra is have a Rashi Drishti on the
You
on
want
the
Rashi
island.
Drishti.
Yes, Chandra has a
No.
Rashi Drishti.
The point is Rashi Drishti.
Yes, I know.
Chandra.
That's how you remove Badaka. So
Chandra
before
is
looking
having
through
all
Prashna
the-
Marga and seeing this remedy for Badaka, that remedy for Badaka, oh, you must do this tantric puja or this, that, you just look for one of these grahas. One aspect, Rashi Drishti, is enough. End of Badaka. Then and there, just one. Strengthen him, Badaka gone. Badaka over. Happy days. Party
It's
time.
Mukha.
Happy times.
Normally Jen is possible colors and text
Because Vage
Huh?
of the benefic planet.
Yes.
You can
You can strengthen it
Text, color,
Shukra
gems.
tamo gužvi.
Whole
About
about this gem.
Mantras.
Mantras.
You want your brain to work also. Mantras.
Should be
See.
there. Mandra
So I
Jupiter.
should do mantras maybe.
Bik je fiksni znak.
Yes.
I
Ovo
want
je
you to-
u jarcu.
Yes.
I've given you some, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Next sutra.
Vrtilo se u glavi, da.
We come to third sutra finally, right? Jaimini is slow. He doesn't go so fast. Okay.
Go so fast.
Let's repeat after me. Tat rishtascha
Tatrishtascha
tadvat.
Tadvat
Just as every sign aspects and is aspected by three other signs, In a similar manner, the planets and other bodies placed in them also have this aspect. So lest we in doubt about what planets do in those signs, he's saying they also aspect. Finished. So simple. Now he's saying every sign aspects three other signs by Rashi Drishti, which can be Abhimukha, Sammukha, Badaka, or just Parshva Rashi Drishti. A planet placed in a sign aspects the three signs that are aspected by the sign it occupies. This special aspect gained by the planet by virtue of its position in the sign is called Rashi Drishti of the planet and is different from Graha Drishti. It gets Graha Drishti because it possesses those Graha Drishtis by virtue of its nature. Graha Drishti is the Graha's nature. Rashi Drishti is not its nature. If the sign aspected by Rashi Drishti has another planet in it, then it also aspects this other planet by Rashi Drishti. We apply this also to Aruda, special Lagnas, Varnada, Nakshatra, everything. I would like to question something. I want you to see this sutra once more. Api Pasyanti we know. Rikshani means what?
Protect.
Rikshani is reference to signs or nakshatras. Parshva Becha. Why isn't anybody asking me about the sign aspect or the nakshatra aspects? You just let me skip through that easily? I was like, oh, okay, nobody's listening, I'll just continue. Okay? Rikshani is a reference to both Rashis and Nakshatras. Why is he using this term here? It means Jaimini is not just defining Rashi's Drishti here. He's defining Nakshatra Drishti in this same sutra. The same sutra has Nakshatra Drishti. Whenever you see Rikshani, be open. It means Rashi and Nakshatra both. When will we learn this? Nakshatra Drishti? When we discuss Sarva to Bhagda Chakra. There's the same principle. There's a Sammukha Parshva. You've seen that?
Yes.
You've seen?
Jana Holal.
It calculates it
We
nicely.
can't-
You just press a button and you have all the lights come up. Okay? Ketu also gets drishti because of Rashi drishti. Though despite him being headless, meaning he should not have drishti, but due to the Rashis, he gets an opportunity to share vision. It's like a graha getting a head from the devas. That's what Rashi drishti does. It gives the person a head to see due to circumstances.
Only Rashi Drishti get
Exactly.
nowhere.
Exactly. Now, he's made a nice example here. How are you going to use this more practically? You can see this in charts in a very nice way. Number one, the Abhimukha Drishti of your Aruda is the goal that you must manifest in life. So if you take your Aruda Lagna and see its Abhimukha sign, you will know what it is you must manifest in this world. It is also a desire of sorts, because your Aruda, being born, has to manifest that. So let's see this person's chart. My Guruji.
Abhimukhi is go.
So that would be
Aruda Lagna is in Sagittarius. What is the Abhimukha of Sagittarius?
Pisces.
Abhimukha of Sagittarius is what? Gemini?
Gemini.
Yes?
Yes.
It's not.
Pisces.
That's Pisces.
The Sammukha is Gemini,
Ah,
but Sammukha for dual signs is Badaka.
okay.
So,
Just
the Abhimukha for the dual signs would be the one of same lordship. So for Sagittarius, the same lordship is Pisces. Jupiter lords both. So the Abhimukha is Pisces. So what goal is sought by this Aruda? Jupiter, being all-knowing, knowing everything, becoming a Pandit. Jupiter alone in Lagna, in own sign, makes you a Pandit. It's called Pandit Yoga. Mahapandit Yoga is also there, based on such yogas. So what is the goal the Aruda wants? Pandita. Something to do with this Jupiter Ketu maybe. There's Rashi Drishti between them, Parampara Yoga. So the goal of the Aruda is Jupiter.
Yoga can be formed through Rashi Drishti.
Ketu can do that, right?
Ah, okay. So it's just for Ketu.
Even if I don't say that, Jupiter is this positive Ketu in Lagna over here. So there's a link between Jupiter and Ketu. Okay. See. Aruda is what you must manifest in life. If you don't manifest this, you don't grow up.
Yours is also same, isn't it? Because yours is in Pisces.
Yes.
Abumuka is the Sagittarius.
Yes.
And Jupiter.
Is not
It's
there.
Shukra.
Venus is there.
Ah,
Close enough.
we are taking the inside ground, which is
You reached
Venus
your
is
goal.
in Sagittarius in my case.
not Lord Ketu,
No, no.
Venus.
You see, your Aruda also has to be part of this world, right? You only really occupy your Aruda once you're seeking that goal, which is the Abhimukha. Until you seek that goal, they say, we term it in the tradition, you're not growing up. People can spend their entire life going in and out of jobs, but unless they go to this Abhimukha, they have not done anything in their life. Find your Abhimukha of your Aruda.
From Aruda.
Yes, that is what you must manifest. And trust me, you want to. But question is, are you doing it? You must make this happen. You must make this manifest. Only then have you done something. We're going to talk a lot about Aruda in this world.
What if you have possibility of two different Arudas?
You choose one. See that drishti? Done. Choose one.
What
That's
is
stronger.
yours then?
Use that.
For example, Venus.
Hmm?
Yours is Venus.
And my Venus is the seventh lord. And it is in Parivartana with fifth lord. Seventh lord, fifth lord yoga is Shiva yoga. So the yoga it is forming is one for having lots of knowledge. So the goal that my Aruda wants is that of lots of knowledge. It wants Shiva yoga. It wants every type of knowledge of this world. Doesn't matter creed, culture, religion, doesn't matter. Everything. That's what it means. Okay. So the graha is going to form some yoga. It will. You can make some basic understanding of this and say, oh, Venus. Venus means it start happening after marriage. And yes, to a great extent it has. Okay. Now, we can see Abhimukha from other places also. From Aruda Lagna, it's what you must manifest. And the only difference is that from Lagna, it's more personal. It's like a personal desire you have. Alright? So that could be how you must attain a real inner desire. That is from the Abhimukha from Lagna. Similarly, as we have the Abhimukha, we also have the Badaka. Everybody's looking at Badaka from Lagna, but you should see Badaka from Aruda Lagna. Because the Badaka from the Aruda Lagna is much worse than that from Lagna.
Really?
It's a real obstacle to you being in this world. Imagine your Aruda gets pushed out, then you're not even part of this world. It's like giving up your body almost, when your Aruda is given up. So Badaka from the Aruda Lagna is very relevant.
The seventh house, no? Always is the seventh house.
How?
The Lord?
How?
No, in this technique, no? And
How? In this case, Aruda Lagna is in Sagittarius, so Badaka is here. My Aruda Lagna, okay, that's a bad example. Dennis' Aruda Lagna is in Leo. Badaka for Leo is Aries. So you should be careful with Aries. Whatever Aries is doing, whatever it lords, all that. You should understand. That's his main problem. Because every time he wants to be part of the world, that Badaka will show up. And if that Badaka becomes strong enough, he will even have to give up his profession, his livelihood, and his purpose in this world. You understand what I'm saying? So what is worse, Badaka from Lagna or Ruda Lagna?
From the Lagna.
Okay. Ah. Oh, you want to check out what his Badaka is? Arul Lagna is in Sagittarius. Badaka is in Gemini. What is Rahu doing in Gemini? You think he'll have problems from Rahu people? But it's exalted. So maybe it's not so much Badaka. The key is foreigners helped him open his doors because it's exalted. Because it's exalted.
But he will see problems from the same people?
You think this will give him happiness in his own home country?
No.
Definitely not. In fact, he met a few Gemini Lagnas with Rahu in it and he had a miserable experience with them. Absolutely miserable. You know, that entire thing, you know, there's this JyotishDigest.com which talks about Sanjay's how to digest teachings, about some issue about some legal papers and things like that. Have you seen this? Sanjay has a big problem with somebody who is doing that.
Fear.
That person has Gemini Lagna Rahu in it. Okay? Okay? We will not discuss why the person is doing it. We can see this is the problem. This is the Badaka. And
But that's a
the
native
person from his own country.
Ah, that's a native, right, from his own country.
Yes. In fact, it spread into another person who was from a different country, but it started with, in fact, 3 people who had the same Lagna and the same Rahu in it.
No.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
But in this case, it is mixed with the fourth house from Lagna, also implies the local problem, let's say.
Yeah.
Home
That is
problem.
why it is
Home.
from...
Home, yeah, because
So you can see how if you combine the Ruda and the Lagna and you use Badaka and Samukha, you're getting a very clear picture of the child. Isn't it?
For house. Education.
Good.
So actually his name in Ruda Lagna actually is much more established, let's say, in the foreign lands than in maybe
Exactly.
than in India.
Exactly. Because Rahu will be happy with foreigners. Okay. This is Rama's chant, Sri Rama. So, what's this? What should we teach? 33 minutes. Do you want to take a minute to analyze this, and I want you to have a clear exposition about what's happening in his life due to Badak. We'll take a small break. Continue.
and we're rolling.
Alright, yes?
So it's lifting from the 11th from Ruda Lagna, and that's Aquarius,
Yes.
and that's the Bardic sign. The lord of that is Shani, and that's in the 4th house,
Mm-hmm.
assaulted by retrograde, which is acting as a curse,
Yes.
which is showing that he will need to leave home, maybe due to
Yes.
Change.
his stepmother. It's also the
Look there
Shatrupada.
first.
It's also the Shatrupada. The
Well,
lord of
with the
Shatrupada.
6th house.
The Ruda 6 does the main problem.
Shatrupada. Yeah, lord of Shatrupada.
So his main Badak is all those enemies.
Mm.
They're
Oh.
causing this other stuff.
Mm.
Rahu, Saturn,
Yeah.
causing that. You can derive and say there's a curse and everything. But this is the first block.
And Mars is also the lord of Upapalala, which is in the 7th bhava in Madhana, meaning that he might need to go to war to get his wife back.
Alright. I will not refute any of that. Mars in 7th house generally causes you to have to meet the world in a state which is aggressive.
Mm.
Because the world is the 7th house. The way you meet the world is through the 7th house. So when Mars associates, you can have war.
Mm.
Whether it's a big war or a small war, it depends on the things. Now, the main thing is the Badak from the Uru Lagna is having the A6.
Mm.
Main thing. The
Shatrupada.
rest you can derive. You can understand, you can predict. This is the problem. The Abhimukha from Lagna is the same sign. So for him to attain his long-lasting personal fame, he has to go to this Badaka from his Aruda. So that which is good for him, which is good for his life, for this person to be known as Rama, he has to go to that and defeat that which is against his Aruda. That's what I wanted you to see. It's not just this Badaka from the Aruda. It's the abhimukha from the lagna.
Both.
Both.
Abhimukha, yeah.
That which is bad for his aruda in this world is good for him to be known for millennia.
Eternity almost.
What is this yoga? Jupiter, Moon and Lagna.
Thank you.
This battle is going to make him be known as Rama. What Rama is there without Ramayana? Why would we know Rama if it wasn't because he went to Lanka and defeated Ravana? We wouldn't know. It's because of that. Good.
How is that 8-6 that what was the sign? That 8 house.
Kumbha.
8 house. Yes, Kumbha.
Kumbha is Ravana, no?
Yes. How do you see that as an enemy, as a war, as an
First, we know it's an enemy because it's A6.
okay?
What type of enemy will see 6th house? Rahu is in 6th house.
Okay.
So that means an enemy who will use deadly schemes, black magic, whatnot. He'll definitely use, no doubt. He definitely will. Now, how do we know it's a war? Well, then you should be going to the next step and seeing the causative. Truly, Ravana did not want a war. He didn't start the war.
Yes.
I mean, he did something which made Rama go to war. Okay? I mean, the whole loss of wife due to this Saturn is the main problem which he faced, which Rama faced. Because of that, and this is also involved in a curse, when this curse starts, Mars will also get involved. Therefore the war. Okay? But this A6 we cannot say is the war. We cannot.
And the
We
reason
could justify, you see, the Sammukha from the Aruda, so the Abhimukha from the Aruda, is over here in Scorpio.
Yes.
So we could say that he sees the need to go to battle because Scorpio is the Abhimukha from the Aruda. Because if he has to manifest his purpose in this world, he has to manifest his Aruda, which is going to happen through Scorpio. But who are these people who he's meeting in Scorpio? Aruda 9th house. All the rishis. I mean, come on. Vashishta is the rishi of the whole family. Then Vishwamitra lands up and says, no, you have to come with me. We're going to fight a few battles. On the way, he meets Agastya Rishi. I mean, just meeting one of those fellows is a big thing. And these are the people who ensured he manifested his Aruda. Unfortunately, this implied, because Mars is in this sign, that also implied going to battles and going to war. What did Vishwamitra want from him? He said, come, I'm going to teach you all the weapons so that you can defeat all the Asuras who are disabling us from doing our pujas. The rishis were not able to practice. They could not do anything. So one of them came and said, look, these guys, they're terrorizing us, they're eating us, cannibals. You know, they look at us as beef stew. They won't let us do our pujas. They come and interview all the time. We can't do anything. We cannot live freely in this country. Please come and protect us. So yes, this is how he's going to do it. Through Mars. How does that sound, Agnes? Sounds like we're doing chart analysis now, eh? Now we're reading charts. Alright.
Fixed signs, Abhimukha is 6th of this, isn't it?
Who cares? It means, fixed signs means the one who's opposite. That is Abhimukha. Don't take 6 to 8 because then you lose sight of Rashi Drishti. Right?
Only Dwaras.
These two have Abhimukha with each other. These have Abhimukha with each other. Same with these guys. The only problem is dual signs. It's here and here. They have Abhimukha.
Change.
Don't take 6 to 8. Then you're just confused with all rules. Think Drishti. You know your Drishti.
Face.
Usually. Facing opposite. That's Abhimukha. That's why I don't like that commentary where he says, oh, C6, C7, C8. No. Understand Drishti and you know everything. And if you're using South Indian chart, it's easy. Or East.
everything is like north.
And North is like... North is not for accountants.
So Maya not for you.
But that's like the only one I'm using. mostly. I'm kind of used to it. Okay, habits can change, yes, I know, but
So it's 8 for movable, 6 for fixed, as a result, right?
50R.
Okay. Dennis,
Yes.
what is his main goal in life?
Look at the overlap now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we would look at his overlap is in Gemini.
Mm. Yes.
So
Kanya.
we would look into Kanya.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord of, then there's no Graha there,
Mm-hmm.
but the Lord of Kanya is in Kumbha. Oh, the Katyala. Sorry,
You have to draw all the Arudas, all the special lagnas, draw everything and see what's there. Can you find any Arudas in Kanya? Just go check. Calculate quickly. Let's see.
it's root of 10th house.
Hmm?
10th house.
Aruda 10th house is there.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now does it make a bit more sense now? Alright. So from here, the Abhimukha is here, 8, 10 is here, and Katika Lagna is here.
It's power.
Ah, what does he want,
Power.
guys? You think he would want to be a politician? Katika Lagna, power. Aruda of the 10th house. Career. Focuses on career and people he meets in his career. Alright. Good. I don't think that Mercury is so well placed, admit.
no.
Mercury in 7th house is not so good. Mercury in 7th house is bad for Virgo. Mercury in 4th house is bad for Gemini. Keep that in mind for Marana Karkstana. There's a difference for Mercury.
What? Again, please.
Mercury in 7th is Marana Karkstana for Virgo. Mercury in 4th house is Marana Karkstana for Gemini. So this Mercury in 7th house is bad for Virgo, but not for Gemini.
So you cannot blindly say it's 7th house every time. You have to take this
That's
into
right.
consideration.
Yes.
So,
Exactly. Because Mercury has the duality. Good. So he wants power and position, and he wants a career. His main purpose of life is to manifest that. All right. What else do you want? Can you tell me? How about this Badaka?
Of Aruda Lagna.
All right.
So,
Let's see.
Mercury.
no.
No, no,
it's
Aruda Lagna
Sagittarius.
is in Gemini.
Sagittarius.
Badaka for Gemini is?
Sagittario. Sagittarius.
Any grass there?
No.
I confuse when change. I put Virgo.
Oh,
Okay, I'm change.
no problem. All right.
A big muka.
Yeah.
It should be there, right?
Correct. No grass here, right? Did you find any Arudas here?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Five. Five. Aruda is 5.
No. Is there any Aruda in 5th house?
No.
Any Aruda in
right,
Sagittarius?
right.
You didn't find any? Alright. So we'll see the Lord Jupiter, right? Jupiter and Saturnine. 9th house. Excuse me.
From Lagna.
9th house from Lagna. Of course you have to see from Lagna. Also, to see how it manifests. Is this 2nd house from Lagna? Yes, to do with some group or family organization. So that power has to do with that. This Badaka is in 9th house. It's also in Badak from Lagna. So the Badak from his Aruda is the Badak from Lagna as well. It's the same problem. Anything else you can see in that 9th house? It's just Jupiter and Saturn there, right? Saturn is debilitated.
Yeah, debilitated.
Jupiter's 8th lord with Saturn debilitated over there. There's another yoga here. I don't know if you know this. It's almost the same as a curse when a benefic is followed by 2 malefics.
Oh, yeah.
When a sign has when 2 signs after have malefics, it's the same as a curse on that benefic in the previous sign. It's like a small Malika yoga. It has to be 2 signs. Must be. Like 2 signs before or 2 signs after.
And in this case, it's Ketu and Mangal after.
So we have Jupiter here, Ketu is in the next sign, and Mars is in the other sign. Because Moon is there, there's a battle. If Moon wins, then this is broken. If Mars wins, complete curse on Jupiter here.
Two malefic.
Two malefic.
Two
Two signs with malefics.
After
Yeah.
one
One
malefic.
after another.
Any malefic.
It can also be two signs before having malefics. It can be. So this is in 9th house. Father can also affect legs.
Yeah.
He had polio
Yeah,
of his legs.
but it would be the upper part, right?
It's the entire leg from the top down.
Because its upper part is the whole leg.
The 9th house controls this entire portion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he had some walking aids on his legs.
Yeah. Yes. So that was a badaka to his career because we're talking about Aruda badaka, but also personal badaka because of Lagna. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How does that sound? Interesting.
Jupiter is Sanmakaraka.
Jupiter is
Atmakaraka.
Atmakaraka. So it's some
Involved.
soul level suffering, right?
Yes. Involved in the soul.
Exactly. It is. Yes. He believed he was being punished. His polo, he believed he was being punished because of
Was
cheating
he
on his
involved?
wife.
Yes.
Oh,
in
yeah, that
multiple
story.
relationships.
Saturn.
He told everybody publicly, the reason I have polio is because I cheated on my wife. I should never have done it. He told publicly to everybody. So what do you think the opponent politician had on him? He said, how will we win it against this guy? He's so honest, we don't have dirt on him. You know?
7th house of from Darualana. Right?
But how is that?
Why he was cheating on his wife. Okay. Well, where's Upapada?
10th.
10th house?
Yes.
Upapada and Gemini. Sorry, Upapada and Taurus. General
Gemini
standard
is
prediction. Strong chance of extramarital affairs. Strong chance.
Because Gemini
With
is
Rahu.
second therefrom.
Because Gemini is second therefrom.
And Aruda Lagna is in second therefrom, so he could have
Yeah, so
put
he
his
would be the
work
cause.
and
It was with the secretary.
ouch.
The odd thing
10th
is,
house.
yeah, it's work, you see.
New work.
The odd thing is that he maintained this relationship even after he admitted it. So, even though he was in office, he was president and everything, he would have regular drives and regular meetings with his secretary, the old secretary.
Even on chair.
Yeah, even there. So he would still maintain that relationship all throughout his life. You can see Venus in Maranaka external.
Okay.
So some issue is there with regards to Venus. But the real reason he cheated was because of Upapada here, Gemini is here, the second from it has a Ruda Lagna, so he's the one causing the breakage in the relationship. And this is, normally we say Mars has to do with somebody who's working for you, a subordinate working for you. But
Did
this could
he
be-
divorced or just
No.
have extramarital
He was
affair?
still married, he was president, but people didn't know he was still having the affair. That's the difference only.
Had a severe health complication at the end, right?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Venus is in Maranaka Extana.
Mm.
So whilst they were drawing a portrait of him, he had a aneurysm, brain aneurysm.
I hope they finished it.
In other words, when Venus is in Maranaka Extana, or any graha in Maranaka Extana, when you do its activity, you can die. That's what it means only. Don't worry, you could live long, but when you do its activity, you'll die at that time, that's all. Okay?
Wow.
So he has two. Sorry, Michael. Interesting. His personal goals from here, the Sammukha, or rather Abhimukha, is here. Sun is there with Venus. Sun, again, politics. Right? Venus is 10th Lord joined that. This is a problem. So this is what brought about the affair.
Woman already.
His personal desire.
Venus.
Amazing. Just from Drishti you can interpret the whole chart.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you a very good idea, right? Doesn't it? It's easy. Do I see one more chart?
Ja. Skal jeg stoppe, når starten ny? Den er på 45.
No, no. No, this is a bit different chart.
He's
I'll tell you.
doctor. A doctor?
He's a doctor, yes. And a sir, he was knighted.
Medical doctor.
Yes, he was also that. Also professor.
From Aruda Lagna, Abu Muka is Virgo.
Yes.
Mercury and Venus in it. Mercury is good position.
He's very good position. 10th Lord and Lagna Simhasana Yoga. Right? Somebody who will be the leader in some matter, great leader.
Yes. From Ascendant, Mercury is also again Abu Muka.
Yes, yes. Exactly.
Badakesh in third house. Marana Karakastan.
Yes. Because Badaka for both these is the same Jupiter. Correct.
Yes.
Again, for this is a problem at most.
Sure.
Right?
Yes, Mars is there, and Rahu and Shani Drishti and Ketu Drishti there.
Terrible curse.
Terrible, yes.
Father must have suffered like anything for him. His father must really have suffered. The gurus in Marna Kazakhstan under curse, father will really suffer. Really.
But there's one more thing.
That's the one more thing.
There's
Makarab is Rahu also. Very bad soul experiences.
Yes. And generally Saturn Rahu Yoga or Saturn Ketu Yoga, bound to be some family problem. Bound to, for sure. For sure. Guaranteed.
Why Shani Rahu? Why does that cause that?
Pitris.
Pitri.
Those demised souls from before. Are they happy or not? When this junction happens, they're not happy. If benefics associate with this, it can really calm the situation down. It can really. You may not even feel it in life. But if it's left alone like here, surely it will show up.
There's also Karambita Yoga. No?
Like what type of problems? Like some.
When we come to second year, I will describe exactly.
There's also calamity.
Exactly. Let's show you. Okay, you really appreciate it. You really appreciate it. In your case, there's no problem. Don't worry.
So why he became doctor?
I don't have Shani.
Ketu. I'm sorry. Why? What happened? Why he became doctor?
Yes.
Oh, his problem is from that Jupiter Badakesh, right? So, what was the rule for Badaka? If benefics associate with the Badak sign, it removes Badaka, right?
Yes, also two benefics.
Yes. So these two are aspecting here, they're aspecting here. So this one yoga in the Lagna is removing a lot of problems, isn't it?
Yeah.
But isn't that same Mercury badly placed with Aruda Lagna?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So that's giving him, that's a big problem for him.
But Venus is deep from
But Venus is Digbala from Aruda. Exactly.
So that's why again it's the same thing. One beneficial thing.
And generally, if you have just one of these benefics in Kendra to Lagna, Venus or Mercury or Jupiter, you worship that graha and he removes all the other problems in life. He has two.
Did he worship also?
Let me tell you now. Let me explain who this person is.
And there's also a nice yoga for knowledge, isn't there?
He used to be the student of Rabindranath Tagore, a very famous poet in India.
Very strange.
He has set the standard for poetry in the language of Bengali in India, and is very well respected all over India because of the nature of his poetry. He was deeply, this man as a student was deeply influenced by the philosophy of Rabindranath Tagore. Deeply influenced. And he was very refined, see that Venus? Very refined, and was paying a lot of attention to beauty, aestheticism, in the aesthetic beauty in actions, aesthetic beauty in what you did, how you acted, how you wrote, how you spoke, everything. So he defined a whole life philosophy based on his teachings from Tagore. He was so well respected that he became eventually, you see 10th Lord is in the Lagna, a leader. He became the Prime Minister of India. He started out as a doctor. He became the Prime Minister of India, and the Queen respected him so much, the Queen of England, that she knighted him as Sir.
That was after deliberation or
This was before.
before?
Isn't it before? I believe? So he was not prime minister, he was an acting role. No, it was after, my mistake. They were still
After?
having the Commonwealth. So he was still that respected, if I recall. When did they get? No, it has to be before, right?
Yeah, before it was 1947.
1947 they got independence. So he was an acting representative for India and he was knighted because of that.
So
See
in-
that Venus Mercury yoga? What is the principle of this? It removed the Badaka from both sides. And it's 10th Lord and Lagna. And it's Mercury Venus yoga. I mean, he just has to say one name, Devi, 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 or Radha, Radha, Radha. He's gone.
So you could say he's politician
Yeah,
generally.
Yeah.
So
doctor,
what,
politician.
yeah, what about his son? How is his son acting there in Felt?
Sun. That is an inauspicious position, but it's 12th Lord.
Yes.
So
For his
Who's it bad
enemies
for?
or...
it's bad for the 12th house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hospital.
Maybe it's bad, yes, maybe it's, but it's in all side. How can I
It's
say
good,
that?
it's good for hospital.
I cannot say it's so bad now.
Mhm.
It's hard to say.
Meditation, Vimalasana.
I guess he would not be knighted as anointed as prime minister. It was something else.
Mm.
He had a leading
Must
role in
have been,
India.
Yeah. At that time.
That was also Venus is
Venus Mercury.
Lord of Nine, so that's also Dharma Karma Dipati.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that one yoga did how
Very
much?
Powerful.
One Venus Mercury, right?
Bhadra yoga.
Beautiful yoga. Aspect Badaka, by Badaka. Dharma Karmadipati yoga. 10th Lord in Lagna,
Just
Simhasana.
a question, even though there is no Surya with 9th and 10th Lord, is it Adipati or just Dharma Karma?
Surya, 9th, I don't understand.
Is Surya supposed to be included in yoga?
Only if
Or
you
is
want
just-
actual real Dharma to manifest, yes.
Uh-huh, okay.
That's right. You got it. There's a bit more here, but I'll leave that for now. When we talk of other yogas. Okay. This is an example of removing Badaka.
Dasha.
5 minutes break.
The Lord